So here we are today, and we're going to do some desserts. Pineapple desserts to be exact, a couple of them. So the first one is pineapple fluff. This is a real sweet dessert. You're going to like it. We need some cherries. It's about a half a jar drained and chopped up in half too. Well, that's the fun part. Along with the cherries, we need some cream cheese, softened to room temperature, of course, about 4 ounces. A little more if you want. A half a stick, or in my case a little more, of butter. And some marshmallows, mini marshmallows. We're also going to need icing sugar and a can of crushed pineapple. So into a bowl goes the cream cheese and the butter, softened of course. You don't want it hard because this has got to get mixed. I mean, room temperature or hotter is even better. And we're going to carefully mix this up with our hand mixer till it looks something like that. It takes a couple minutes. Now to it we've got 2 cups of icing sugar, and we're going to incorporate all that. Of course, you can see how well it mixed together. I had to push down all the sugar that was on the sides of the bowl just to make sure it did get incorporated. And off we go for a third mix. Hopefully this time we'll actually get it all mixed together and yummy looking. Well, it all stuck to the beater, so we're going to have to scrape all that off. But we managed to get it put together, so that's the most important part. So into this mixture is going to go 8 ounces of whipped topping, or more if you want. I think 8 ounces is kind of coming up shy. And we're also going to put in our drained crushed pineapple and the cherries that we drained and chopped earlier. And lastly, 1 to 2 cups of mini marshmallows. The recipe calls for 2. I think you can probably do 1. It's mostly a volume thing more than anything else. You're going to mix all that together. Put it in the fridge and let it cool for a bit too. Get a nice bowl to put it in, and there we go. Pineapple fluff. Enjoy. So our next one is a pineapple upside down cake. I've never tried making a pineapple upside down cake, but here we go. So we're going to start with a pineapple, of course. Now I saw this online. I want to see how easy it was to take the top off. A little twist, and there you go. Now the other part was if you rolled it around, I think you had to cut the top and bottom off. All those little spiny things would come out and you'd have yourself little pineapple tidbits. Didn't work, so I just cut it all up, peeled it, and there you see my nice peeling job. Now we're going to get some slices out of the pineapple, because obviously we need that for the pineapple upside down part. Of course, at this point I realized that there's a core in the middle and I have nothing to core it out with. Put them in the bowl, and I'm not going to show what I went through to get those things cored. There you have. There's a bowl full of peeled, chopped, and cored pineapples. Now pull out a bowl, because this next part, well, it could be complicated if we're doing this from scratch, but I pulled out a cake mix, so we're doing it that way. So it's the cake mix I'm dumping in here. To it we need water, some oil, and 3 eggs. Now we're going to mix it around like you would any cake batter, a couple of minutes, get everything nice and incorporated and gooey looking. Obviously this is the cake part of the upside down cake, but we're going to bake it right side up to start. So after pulling everything apart and, licking the beaters maybe, we'll set the cake aside. We're going to get ready for the upside down part. So into a mug, I put some butter, threw it in the microwave so it's nice and melty. Now we need some brown sugar. Of course, the instructions say 1 cup of packed brown sugar. I didn't do that. It still worked out fine. So into a 9 by 13 pan, we're going to take all that melty butter and lay it on the bottom. And smush it around a bit just to make sure everything's covered on the bottom. So next comes the brown sugar, and you want to sprinkle that as evenly as possible on the bottom. Not easy to do, but it works. And if you want to put more in, I guess you could anyway. Pineapples all go down, and I had some little pieces left over. And you also want to put a little bit on the side too, so that way it kind of droops over and looks kind of cool. So that's almost the whole pineapple. It wasn't a very big pineapple. And to it, we're going to add some cherries, drained of course, whole cherries. And you just find all the empty spots and throw them in there. You don't need a ton. The directions called for a jar, but there's no way I could fit a jar worth of cherries in there. I had a half a jar and still had leftovers. So to it, the other main ingredient is the cake batter. You're going to spread that out on the bottom, get all the cake mix in there, and just kind of let it ooze into the corners and level out. Then throw it in the oven. It's going to take 40 to 50 minutes to bake. So whatever it says on the box may not quite apply. When it's done, here it is, nice and golden brown. You want to take a knife and kind of score along the edges, just in case there's some pineapple that are stuck. I didn't actually have that problem because I had already kind of pre-greased the pan ahead of time. Now here's the tricky part. I tried this with a cookie sheet and some parchment paper. I kind of wish I would have had a bigger cookie sheet to do it with, because it didn't quite fit, and when I tipped her over, it didn't quite fit properly. Pineapple spraying all over the place. The pan's super hot. I had to wait for it to cool before I could move the pan, and I knew it wasn't on properly. And you can see it's kind of tilted off. So I had to gently put it back on, and there's a little pile of leftover stuff from the back not fitting in. Well, there you go. My first attempt had a pineapple upside down cake. Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll give it a try. If you do, leave me a comment below. Give me a thumbs up if you like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Ring the bell. That'll tell you the next time I upload a video. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.